Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here. Some lovely little person gave me this wayward hatchling. They're just kind of out of the blue, and I wanted to show it because it's really adorable. It's a cute little thing. So thank you to the kind soul who gave this to me. I wanted to do a job quest with him, with Gav, but I also want to go to the smith and refresh on how to do the tanking stuff. If I'm not mistaken, you are an adventurer of some prestige. Yes, have you ever given thought to becoming a mentor? What is a you have to become a mentor, you have to have complete 1,000 instance dungeon raids or trials, receive 1,500 player comms, complete any level 100 tank role quest, any level 100 healer role quest, complete any level 100 melee DPS or range DPS role quest. Trade mentor, catch 300 collectibles, synthesize 100 collectibles, reach level 100 in any discipline of the disciple of the land class or disciple of the hand class. Oh, I might be able to do that on Tyrius, actually. Trade mentor. It seems you lack the credentials to become a mentor. Though I dare say that you are capable of obtaining them. So how could you check and see how many comms you have? You're looking at reputation. And considering how, relatively new Gavtia is, and the fact that I only made him in October. 219, and I also play mostly DPS. That's pretty darn good. All right. The Smith. Let's register for the Hall of Novice. I would like to go under... would like to do the tank exercise 2. These are attack markers, right? You can see that you've got the conal here. You got circular, you got a donut here in a straight line. Cast bar. Some enemies' attacks take time to cast before they strike. A progress bar will appear beside the name of the caster, and once this bar fills completely, the attack will be unleashed. Note that attacks with no cast time will not display a cast bar. Okay. Enmity. That's the priority system by which an enemy chooses a target. All players entered into combat with the enemy generate enmity for dealing damage or healing. 2 ways you can check your enmity level. The list shows all enemies with whom you have generated enmity. Try to say enemy and enmity at the same time. The icon on the left indicates your current enmity level. The 4 levels are displayed below in order of greatest to least. Red means you've got aggro or aggression. Orange means you're about ready to get aggro. Yellow means you're at risk for it. Green means you don't have it at all. Enhancements and enfeeblements can be applied to you or to the enemy, actually. Types of markers. Targeting markers. You can see different kinds here. There's one that goes over the head. That one you want to take out of away from your parties. This one, this line, if it's like a chain, you want to run away from the person you are chained with. Ideally, both of you run away from each other, okay? And that breaks the chain. Area of effect markers, you can see how big this area is. They'll give you a nice big ring. They're pretty obvious. Stack markers. Okay, this is a circle stack. You want to stack with your group when you see these. They're yellow and they make a kind of womp 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 sound to them. This line stack, you can see it's in a line. all you have to do is be in the line. You don't need to be right on top of the person. Definitely need to be in the line, though. Ideally, tanks in front, so they soak a little bit more of that damage. Lethal attack markers. All right, this is like a tank buster, they call it. All right. This is a solo marker. They may inflict an area of effect attack, depending on the enemy, okay? You'll see a wider red ring on the floor, if that's the case. A line or cleave marker has this yellow hatch, black hatched yellow square box around it. It rotates around. They'll strike that entire area behind the target, so you don't want to be behind them. Stack markers, the spheres orbiting the center indicate how many players are needed to withstand the attack, so you need 3. I rarely see these in dungeons. I more often see it in, like, Savage raiding, right? Obviously, you have to have more than one tank, so you're never going to see that in a dungeon, right? Because you only have one tank in a dungeon. Homing area of effects. This yellow set of arrows will move. Okay, that indicates that you'll be chased by a series of area of effect attacks. You want to run those away from your party. Okay, they strike rapidly and repeatedly. You need to keep moving. Knockbacks. You'll see these arrows that, like, move away from a center. Okay, the center of those arrows is where the attack is going to happen. And that's where you want to position yourself, ideally with enough space behind you so that when you get knocked back, you don't end up knocked back, off a platform, for instance, which has happened a few times to me. More than a few times. Sometimes it happens. You don't get positioned correctly in the right place. Arm's length will nullify a lot of those. It won't nullify all of them, but it will nullify a lot. Radial knockback. Players will be pushed outwards from the point of impact. If the marker is purple like this one, it cannot be nullified by job actions. I learned something new. I didn't know that if it's a different color, that means it can't be nullified. Okay, directional knockback. You'll be pushed in a single set direction. We probably will see that in one of the trials in Stormblood. Area of effect knockbacks. This yellow area, you want to actually be at the ring outside, not in the center. Okay. When it strikes, you'll be pushed back a set distance away from the point of impact based on your relative location. You will take damage if you stand inside its bounds, so you should position yourself along its outer edges, be outside of it. If the marker is purple, like this one, it cannot be nullified by job actions. I hope you're not colorblind. There is a color blindness adjuster. Let me see. I don't know if it's under system configuration. Graphics settings. UI list. By the way, you can change your HUD party list. Make sure to look through all of these system and character configurations. You may find something that is really important to you. You can change the color of your nameplates. Okay. I changed my monsters to bright pink so that I think they're red by default, but I was getting it too messed up with some of the other non-enemies, people in other alliances in particular. So I changed them to bright pink. They also stand out a lot better in different settings. Like if it's a dark setting, dark red is a little bit challenging to see for some people. Hot pink is a lot easier to see. Where is that color adjuster? You can change the notification sounds on your logs in your chat settings. I want the HUD layout to be 4. Oh. Alright, system configuration, accessibility settings. You can enable visual alerts. I tried that. Found it was too annoying. Color filtering, you can adjust protanopia if you have red-green color vision with the red cones. Deuteranopia is red-green color blindness with the affecting the green cones more often. So if you have red-green color blindness, you don't know which one you have. Try both settings, see which one works better for you. Tritanopia is for folks who have trouble with blue and yellow. Okay. I'm not going to color filter. Because I have normal color vision. Alright, interesting. If this ring is purple, it cannot be nullified by arm's length or other... swift cast, I think, is another one. Can't be nullified by job actions. Okay, flare markers. That's a proximity-based area of effect. Okay. The closer you are to the point of impact, the more damage you take, so you want to run away. Okay, you'll see this in some alliance raids. This is commonly called a flare. All right. If you get this flare marker, okay, with 3 arrows coming out, you want to run that away from the party as much as you can. Tower markers. Oh, this is a tank tower, so if it has a red ring in it, the tank needs... Only a tank should occupy it. Okay. Multiple player targets, towers. The number will be indicated by the marker. Displayed below are 2 examples of 2-player towers. So you can see either two sticks up in the air, right? Or you see 2 balls on the outer edge on the ring. Sometimes you'll see 2 of these, I don't know what to call them, kind of like bent rectangles in there, and when one person goes in, it'll fill up, it'll light up, and then the second one will do that. You'll see that a 3-person version of that in what is it, Orban Monastery. It's a alliance raid for Stormblood series, so we'll hopefully be getting into that, you know, not in the not too distant future. And that one will light up. You'll have to have 3, and it'll light up when all 3 are there. Okay, that's on the Counts at Alpha's fight. So you will see that. I don't know that I've ever seen this, but I haven't ever tanked at a higher level where that might show up and me pay attention to it. Proximity tethers. If it's red and has arrows, run away from the person who you are tethered with. You want to turn it into this purple line, okay? If you see a chain like this, it'll be orange. Run it away, it'll break. Interceptable tethers. Some people need to intercept it, all right, so that the proper person takes the damage. I have seen this in the Counts at Alpha's fight, where 3 or 4 I think it's 3 DPS have to share that tether and not let the tank get it. Gaze markers. If you see an eyeball, turn away from it. Now, if you see an eyeball and it has a cone area of effect, you may not have to worry about turning away. All right, but if you see an eyeball, watch the cast bar. You know you're going to be needing to turn away immediately. Other markers, these are number markers 1, 2, and 3. That tells you who's going to get hit first. All right. Countdown markers. You'll see a 3 and then the 2 and then a 1. We've been doing the Zeromus fight on Savage mode, unsynced, and this one shows up every fight with that boss. Okay, You'll see this countdown marker too. It'll go from full to it'll turn gray each quadrant, or it's not a quadrant. 3 pieces of the pie will fill up. Okay, and then you know that whatever's going to happen is going to happen right then. All right. Just a nice refresher in case you needed to do that. We're going to do the... I think I'm going to do avoiding area of attacks. Okay. We did that one already. Let's execute a combo to increase enmity. Let's do that one. I forgot to put my egg on for XP. Listen up, Novice. When it comes to your place in a party, you're the wall of steel. What takes the enemy hits. Soaking up the pain and keeping your mate safe, that's what you need to focus on most during battle. Enmity is a measure of how badly a foe wants to kill you, and it's your job to be at the top of every enemy's list. So for this exercise, you'll be learning about enmity and how to build it. Remember to bolster yourself with defiance before every battle. That'll get your foes to notice you nice and early. That is your tank stance. Best way to establish yourself as a threat, string together some nasty combinations. In your case, I'd start out with heavy swing and follow it up with a maim. Okay, so that's, you know, your combo. Show me a solid series of blows and I'll consider your lesson learned. To be clear, let me know when you're ready to begin. Prepared to start again then, are you? Yep. The hardest thing I have remembering is to get my tank stance on. Hit that wooden warrior with your combination. Heavy swing first, maim second. Don't try nothing fancy. Get the order wrong more than 4 times, we start over. Oh, that's why I put him in order. That's the way, lad. You can see maim is procced after doing heavy swing. All right. Use that combination battle and you'll build all the enmity you need. When faced with a single foe, it's the simple methods that are often the most effective. Here's your bonus for completing the exercise. Remember this training on the field battle. If I'm not mistaken, you're an adventurer of some prestige, yeah? Okay. Execute a combo in battle. Listen up, Novice. You recall how you built enmity in the last exercise? This time you'll be testing that combination on a proper opponent. I've said this before, lad, but it bears repeating. Your job is to soak up the pain and keep your mate safe. And you do that by directing the foe's enmity onto yourself. If your ally's still standing at the end of the fight, I'll count that as a win. Clear, let me know when you're ready to begin. Yep. Pound your opponent with your combination. Don't let your ally get hit. concludes the exercise. Come see me for the reward. As you've seen, combos are a fine way of building enmity. When a party's relying on you to take the hits, you need a reliable method for grabbing the enemy's attention. Here's your bonus for completing the exercise. Remember, this training's on the field of battle. Accrue enmity from multiple targets. It doesn't hurt to come back. You can repeat these lessons. It won't hurt to come back if you've... let's listen up, Novice. For this exercise, you'll learn how to build enmity with multiple foes. Have you ever tried using the overpower technique? Yes. It'll let you aggravate an entire group of enemies. Overpower hits every bugger within a circle around you. Make sure you're positioned so you don't miss anyone. Are we clear? Let me know when you're ready to begin. Okay. It's not a bad idea to repeat these lessons periodically. I feel like once you've done them the first time, if you go another 20-ish levels and kind of refresh after you've seen some of these mechanics in more dungeons, it's super helpful to kind of go, oh yeah, now I remember that. Yep, let's begin. And, take stance. Handy. That has a radius of 5 yalms or 5 yards. Okay. So it's actually pretty big. And facing multiple foes, it's all about your positioning. Here's your bonus for completing the exercise. Remember, this training is on the field of battle. No, I still get bad tank-anxiety. this friend of mine calls it. It's just... I don't know what it is. Like DPS, I only have to worry about what I'm doing, right? I find healing enormously stressful. And the beautiful thing is you don't have to play any job you don't like, right? But I would like to, be able to tank for, like, my kids when they come in, because they don't play very often. They play DPS, and having me play as tank will make it easier for them. Alright, listen up. I've totally missed this. Listen up, Novice. For this exercise, you'll be training against multiple opponents. Use overpower to gain enmity with group just like you practice. Be sure that the enemy's only interested in hitting you. Defeat every enemy on the field, and I'll consider your lesson learned. See here, I've got enmity on all of them because they're all red. Conjurer out first. Now you see, I've got... So I have my status info, my buffs and debuffs around. So I can see them more easily. Okay, so play around with your stuff. Okay, I move my party list down here. Usually I have it up to the side, but as a tank I might need to have closer access to it. So that's why I've got it there. Enmity list is where I can see it. I have my target info here. My target cast bar or progress bar is right here, where I can see it easy. You see how fighting a group calls for different technique? If you want to be your most effective, you need to switch your tactics to meet the situation. Here's your bonus. Get brand new trousers. Just made level 29. Good job. All right. Really wanted to make it to level 30. I'll probably do that with the job quest. Well, let's do some more. Execute a ranged attack to increase enmity. Listen up, novice. For this attack, or for this exercise, you'll learn to establish enmity with a ranged attack. In battle, your enemies won't care not for fair. Stroll into a pack of foes, and you're asking to get swarmed. And your tomahawk technique will be the tool for the job. Rather than blunder into bombardastes, you're better off pulling a few at a time from a safe distance. Defeat every enemy on the field, and I'll consider your lesson learned. Are we clear? Let me know when you're ready to begin. Yep, let's begin. Turn our tank stance on. Don't get too close. You don't want to fight them all at once. Use tomahawk to break a chunk away from the group, then grab your... It's a nice way to pull smaller mobs, by the way. That way you don't get a whole bunch. We fight dolls, birds, and wolves. Jackals. Okay. So he said, you see how easy it was to split up that big nasty mob? The situation don't always allow it, but often there's a better strategy than charge. Here's your bonus for completing the exercise. Remember this training on the field of battle. Okay. Exercise 7. How many of these do we have? Oh, okay. Oh, you get another brand new ring. Okay, that's kind of nice. Okay, there's 8. Listen up, novice. I don't know why that tickles me, but it does. This exercise, you'll learn to deal with reinforcements. Sometimes there's latecomers to a battle, so you gotta stay alert. If you notice a new foe arrive, don't give in to panic. Keep calm, pick the enemy up with their usual tools. Are they too far away for a combination? Well, then reel them in with a tomahawk. Once you got everyone nice and close, you can switch to overpower to keep that enmity flowing. I find it's easier to maintain if you've hit them 2 or 3 times with overpower. What did you just say? Defeat every enemy on the field of battle and I'll consider your lesson learned. Are we clear? Let me know when you're ready to begin. Okay. Yep, let's go in. All right. The reinforcement ain't too hard, is it? Here's your bonus for completing the exercise. Remember this training on the field of battle. Well, that's kind of cool looking. It's actually not too bad for, beginner armor. This is it, final exercise. This culmination of your training, all the skills you learned will be put to the test. Breathe deep, remember your lessons, and you'll do fine. Let me know when you're ready to begin. Let's do it. Let's start with the basics, keeping the foe away from your allies and watch your positioning. Remember my tank stance. bit of a handful. Moldy sneeze. Moldy phlegm. Ew. I've got him pointed away so he doesn't hit my allies with that. Sneezes. Animation's hilarious. Congratulations on completing the course, lad. Here's a little something to mark the occasion. Nice. I think I've done all of them. All right, I can't do this training exercise until level 49. Okay. All right, so we've done... Oh, I guess you get credit for 1 and 5 anytime you do it on any of the other ones. Avoiding area of effect attacks in the final exercise, but... I did want to do it as a tank instead. All right. This Neophyte's ring is very nice. All right. Do I have one? Nope, I do not. All right, let's go up to the Marauders guild there. And we'll pick up that level 25 job quest because I want to pick up that next skill. That might tip us over to 30 to where I can get my job stone, which would be really, really nice to have. If not, I might do a few more fates. I also want to get my Arcanist to 29 or to 30 also, because then I can unlock Scholar, and that can level alongside my Arcanist. Because I don't like playing healers at all. I tell people I spend all day healing for my job, and so when I get home, I just want to kill things. I want to turn the brain off and not be responsible for other people's well-being. I love doing my job. I love my job. It's a fantastic job. But it takes a lot of energy and focus. And so at the end of the day, I don't want to do anything where I have to be responsible for things. All right, Axemaster Vernzoon wishes to set for you a trial that will hone your strength and skill to ever greater heights. Gav, our near disastrous encounter with the pack that follows Kujata has been preying on my mind. The overwhelming number of the beasts is beyond aught I had imagined. Even the most dedicated marauder could not hope to carve through that snarling wall of flesh. And if we cannot dispatch the path, then Kujata remains beyond our reach. Thus, I have prepared for you a trial that shall unleash your deepest reserves of destructive strength. As before, Sulkvib awaits you at the Bismarck to guide you on your path. Do not squander this opportunity for growth, Gav. The pride of the guild itself rides on the keen edge of your axe. Okay. I wonder if I have any new gear. I'm going to ignore that one. Speak with Sulkvib. She's at the restaurant. You've word from my brother. Huh, the pride of the guild, eh? My brother has placed quite a burden on your shoulders, it seems, but from what I have witnessed, if any marauder has the skill and determination to put down Kujata, then it is you. And there is, of course, the matter of Sigurd's vengeance. You don't want to disappoint the poor boy now, do you? Let us be about this trial, Gav. I shall meet you on the Salt Strand in Lower Lenosia, where your training is to take place. Well, naturally, I will be there. Without me, you're like to forget to tend your wounds and bleed to death. Alright, let's go over to Morby Dry Docks. Alright, we have an instance quest here. Well, this should be the place. I don't see... Oh. Do you sense that encroaching aura of violence, Gav? Pray, unlimber that axe of yours. Okay. Good thing I'm level 29. Since they make this level 29. Seems to be the last of them. Compared to what we have faced before, though, it wasn't terribly... So, this is the indomitable Gav Tia. Who in the seven hells are you? Wait, is that... We have deemed you worthy of our challenge. Come, Marauder, let us test the edge of your steel. Oh, brother. Alright, let's do it. Defeat the masked marauders. What are you playing at, you oafs? Grab Enmity on him right there. Someone familiar? What's the name of that enemy? Someone familiar? Seems my underlings have provided you with poor sport. Very well, I shall take your measure with mine own blade. Do not think to show me quarter, Gav, for I shall surely show you none. All right. That's how I like it. Defeat the familiar Marauder. Just fine there. I yield. Your strength has humbled us all. Aye, it might just be enough. We are done here, my colleagues. Drag away those who cannot stand. Your display of prowess was truly impressive, Gav. Worthy, indeed. Soak Fib says, what a ridiculous charade. Did he honestly think we couldn't see through those paltry disguises? Though I'm confident my brother's act was not born of malice. Rather, he hoped by concealing his identity that the trial would seem more threatening, thus increasing its effectiveness. Not an entirely successful undertaking. Not an entirely successful undertaking, but one must appreciate his intentions. It is time you return to the guild. Oh, and as a favor to me, pray indulge Fernzun in his little deception. Subterfuge is not a marauder's forte. Let's go back to Vernzoon. Vernzoon. Yeah, I said it right. Welsh stuff, you know. Just toss him to the sharks. Gav, I've heard of your skirmish on the Salt Strand. You did well to topple opponents of such formidable skill. I like how he still has his blue armor on. Let us not dwell on the nature of those masked men. What is important is your triumph in the face of overwhelming odds. Your fellow marauders are honored to have you swing your axe in the guild's name. They stand behind you, one and all, as you prepare to overcome your greatest trial yet. Aye, the time has come for you to bring Kujata's bloody rampage to an end. When next he rears his horrible horned head, you shall be ready to bury your blade in his skull. I think I'll take the armor there. We made level 30. Let's go back to Limsa. Oh, we get Thrill of Battle, which increases maximum HP by 20% and restores the amount increased. Nice. Ex-Master Vernzoon appears to have some urgent news for you. Gav, your confrontation with the beast is at hand. Kujata has made his presence known. Reports place the creature at the northeast of the Red Rooster Stead in the vicinity of the Grey Fleet. There is little more for me to say but this. Harness all the strength you have built through your labors of sweat and blood and unleash it full fury upon Kujata and his menagerie of scavengers. Sigurd yet lies abed, trusting in your strength and praying for your victory. I ask that you go to the lad before the battle and tell him you venture forth to fell the object of his vengeance. Such news should cheer his ailing heart. The time has come, Gavtia. May your axe strike deep and true. Alright, we're gonna go to Red Rooster Stead. I guess it's to lower Lenosia. That's probably the fastest way to get there. I believe he's inside here. Yep. Oh, what does Nedard say? Damn calamity, I tell you. I lost my wife, my son, and my daughter-in-law in the aftermath. If it weren't for me grandson, I don't reckon I'd have much reason to linger on. Kev, I'm sorry for making trouble. No, I deserve what I got. It's my own fault for not believing in you. But you came back anyway, and now you're gonna take that axe to Kujata's head, ain't you? I know you can beat that bastard. You got to. Please, Gav, you gotta make him pay. Okay, we gotta talk to these two folks. I heard Kujata's reared his ugly head again and reckon you'd not be too far behind. Hope you won't object to me lending what aid I can. We've been through much, you and I would see this tale to its end. Brunvar, well, he felt much the same, so here we are, pack of two to offset the ravenous beasts that follow in Kujata's wake. Might be as I'm sticking me nose in where it ain't wanted, but I couldn't abide the thought of you facing that monster solo. Kujata's got his friends, so it's only fair you get a couple too. And what are friends for if not to lighten your load? I already did some of the groundwork for you. Seems like a farmer and his wain have fallen victim to the fiend's pack. If we follow the trail of destruction, it might just lead us to the big bugger himself. Inspect the trail of destruction. Okay. You find a pot that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. Go to the next trail of destruction. A fruit barrel. You find a barrel that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. Foul breath. The names of some of these skills are hilarious. Splintered crate. You find a crate that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. And monsters go along with it. Giant oxpecker. Do I want to know? Probably not. We have an instance quest ahead. Overturned wing. Level 34. Now here's our buddy Kujata. Out of that one. All right, we did it. Gaff. It appears that timing was fortuitous. The Axe-Master carried me here so as I could see. You did it. You really did it. Ma, Dad, do you see? Gav killed the bastard. He's finally dead. Thank you. Oh, thank all of you. Gav, do you reckon I could learn to swing an axe like that? When I was bigger, I mean. I want to protect folk, too. Keep them safe from, monsters and things. Vernzoon says, if you train hard, then naught is beyond your reach, young man. And that's what I'll do. I'll train every single day. You see, I'll be the strongest hero there ever was. Oh, we gotta go talk to all of them. Sokvid. Well done, Gav. I knew from the first moment we met that you would rise to meet any challenge. Brunvar. Saw it with me own eyes, and I can still scarce believe it. You brought down the mountain. It is done, Gav. You have answered the boys' prayers and upheld the pride of the guild. Hold your head high, Marauder. I shall be waiting your triumphant return to Limsa. Yeah, let's go back there. That was truly a mighty feat, Gav. Never have I seen a Marauder so dedicated to attaining the pinnacle of his discipline. In recognition of your achievements, I, Axemaster Vernzoon, pass on to you our guild's final technique, the thrill of battle. This skill teaches you to embrace the fear and danger of combat, allowing you to push well beyond the normal limits of your stamina. Though the thought brings me both joy and sadness, there is naught more I can teach you. May the memories of our time here at the guild sustain you as you strive for ever greater heights of perfection. Experience now shall be your tutor. There will always be greater foes and deadlier challenges on which to test your blade, of that I am certain. You enter a realm of our craft in which even I have never set foot. I only hope that when you reach the very boundaries of our art, you will return to share your triumphs with us. Until then, Gav, may your axe ever swing true. Let's do the Steel Cuirass. Axemaster Vernzoon needs an adventurer he can trust. Pride and duty will take you from the mountain. Gab, just the man I was hoping to see. It's plain as day that you've no equal in our guild, and I have a task that I didn't trust to no ordinary marauder. To wit, I just received a message from an old comrade in arms of mine who now serves as a guardsman in Costa del Sol. It seemed the fighting's grown fierce in those parts, and he finds himself in dire need of reinforcements. Mind you, this man is no white-livered whelp. He can wield an axe with the best of them, as evidenced by Master Jejeruju's paying good coin for the services of he and his men. No, any enemy who could fluster that bunch is not one to be trifled with. I've sent Sokvid on ahead to tend to the wounded. Seek her out upon your arrival, and she'll apprise you of the situation at hand. Let's go to Costa del Sol. Gav, ever the sight for sore eyes. A nasty bale of turtles has been preying on the area of late, snapping and gnashing at everything in sight. Why, even the best men that Master Jejeruju could buy find themselves no match for the creatures. Word has it that the beasts have been sighted swimming in from the lightly guarded northern shore. I would send you there to investigate the cause behind the burgeoning numbers. Let's bring Cardinal back. Fell Demon. Level sync is in effect. Duty calls. Commence battle for pride and duty will take you from the mountain. Okay, let's try it. Damn it, Alcav. We must see to these beasts. Seven hells, there's no end to them. Prepare to fall back. I'll see to the shellbacks. You whelps just try not to end up as turtle grub. That axe, I've not seen its like in... Kev, we must do what we can. Alright. Main thing to remember is to keep Sulkfig alive. Curious Gorge? This is a play on Curious George. I should have sent him scuttling back to their nests. You can call me Curious Gorge. One remark about the name and I'll rip your ugly heads from your shoulders and suck the marrow out of your twitching spines. You two are guards from Costa del Sol, I reckon. Not as such. We are of the Marauders Guild, sent here by Axemaster Vernzoon to assist in the defense. I'm Sulkfib, and this is my comrade Calf. From the guild, you say? Well, blow me down and call me a bogey. Had you told me sooner, I'd have introduced myself with proper respect. You're Gav, right? We've only just met, but I see in you a strength not found in ordinary men. What say you unleash the beast within and become a warrior with me? A warrior, you say? So it was you I saw brandishing battle techniques I had thought lost to the sands of time. Curious Gorge says, lost? Perhaps in these parts, but where I come from, the way of the warrior is alive and well. My tribe has been handing them down for thousands of years. Yet our numbers dwindle with every new summer, and that is why I left the mountain where I was raised to come here. What say you, Gav? If you would walk the path of the warrior with me, seek me out at Hidden Falls. All right. The warriors of old, we have all heard the tales, but never once did I dream that I would meet one in the flesh. My memory's cloudy, but many years ago it was said that there was a young marauder in the company of heroes who would unleash crushing blows theretofore unseen by his comrades. When the company disbanded, he vanished, never to be seen again. Might that be this curious gorge? I cannot vouch for the man's identity, but there can be no denying the display of strength we saw today, nor that he has taken a liking to you, Gav. This could be an opportunity for the ages. Hidden Falls, was it? Were I in your boots, I would head off there without delay. Oh, this is kind of nice. Knew you'd come, Gav. Let's begin. Any man can take up an axe and call himself a marauder, but to become a true warrior must prove he can tame the inner beast that guides the blade. I witnessed your battle with the turtles, and I must say that I was impressed. You have proven yourself far more worthy of this than I could have imagined. In your hands lies the soul of the warrior, a crystal within which the deeds of 1,000 heroes, warriors from history are recorded. For countless generations, the soul has been passed on to those in my tribe who choose the path of the warrior to guide them and aid them on their journey. When your inner beast awakens, the runes will resonate, further empowering your will and granting you such strength as you never thought possible. Today, there is cause for celebration, my friend. For through you, I have ensured that my tribe's legacy will endure. Yes, it is for this day, this moment, that I came down from the mountain. Yet, however earnestly I pursue my goal, I cannot deny the fear inside me that my mission will ultimately end in failure. For you see, while I style myself a warrior, the truth is that I left the mountains before my training was complete, and while I carry with me the chronicles of my ancestors detailing the ancient arts of war, I lack the ability to fully decipher the texts. Yet there may still be hope, for there is another who fled my village, one who shared my dream of passing on the teachings of the tribe and can read the tone. My brother. Without, what was he named like Non-Curious Gorge? Without him, I fear there is little more I can teach you at this time, but that will not discourage me from continuing my studies of the Chronicles, nor shake my belief that further secrets will soon reveal themselves to me. Until then, I ask that you use the knowledge I've passed on to you, and continue your training. You must strive to harden your will so that it may endure the strain of future burdens. Good luck, my friend. All right, we get our soul crystal. Next warrior quest would be available from Curious Gorge upon reaching level 35. Alright, let's equip that. By changing your job to warrior, you may carry over the hotbar and cross hotbar settings from Marauder. As the actions from Marauder may also be used when playing warrior, transferring these settings will allow you to readily play in similar fashion. This option is recommended for those who have little or no experience with warrior. Should you require time to consider, the window will open again the next time you change your job to warrior. This window will no longer display after progressing through job quests. I'm going to transfer it. Okay. Let's reassign gear again. Always reassign it after you have your job crystal, so your crystal goes with you too. There's nothing worse than forgetting your job crystal when you're in a dungeon. Alright, we are going to go back to Limsa. Alright, welcome back, cats and kittens. We got through Gav's jobstone for warrior. let's work on Arcanist. So we unlocked our level 30 quest. So let's go do that. We'll go back to Limsa. I'm gonna get some new stuff anyway. Nice. I've been expecting you, Gav, as ever. Clehia's predictions prove accurate almost down to the moment, and her mind is especially sharp with such a dangerous confrontation in the offing. The Yellow Jackets have contacted us with word of Doesmaga. It appears his merchant vessel is presently anchored off the coast of Bloodshore. Once the pirate's business there is concluded, rumor has it that he intends to embark on an extended voyage to the east. It will be some time before he returns once more to Limsa Lominsa. If we pass up this opportunity, Clehia will lose her chance to settle the score with Doesmaga, and we risk the Foreseer stumbling once more into blackest melancholy. Simply getting close enough to Doesmaga will prove difficult. Clehia has, however, already formulated a solution and has set her grand strategy into motion. Your first task in this undertaking is to travel to Costa del Sol and deliver this set of directions to a fisherman by the name of Rilzern. More instructions will be forthcoming. Let's go to Costa del Sol. Here's our fisherman. What is it you want, lad? As you can see, I've me hands full with me fishing. Directives list. A short list of orders drafted by Melvin's Gate Assessor Clehia. Ah, thanks for that. I've been told to expect you. Here, you're to take one of me earrings and deliver it to the cook, Opalona. Yes, and how might I help you? Master Jejiruju is expecting his supper any moment now. Oh, we're taking it fresh. It wasn't an earring, it was herring. Herring so fresh it still flaps its fins in one final desperate attempt to propel itself from your pack through the air and back into the sweet salt water it once called home. A fresh herring? Why, the master does enjoy a bite of broiled fish of an evening. This might even earn me a few extra coins for this week's wages. Well, you have earned yourself one of my homemade eel pies. I should tell you, though, your Arcanist colleague was quite insistent that you take the pie to Master Jejiruju rather than scoff it down yourself. What is it with this game and eel pies? And what brings you to my, and I use the term facetiously, humble abode, dear sir? Such a heavenly aroma. Are you perchance carrying an eel pie about your person? How commendable that you should research the delicacies that tickle my fancy before daring to intrude upon my most ponderous of ponderings. Speaking of ponderous, well, I was speaking of it at least. I have a hefty purse of gil to persuade you to relinquish your claim on that pastry. Homemade eel pie. The culinarian Opalona would have you believe her homemade eel pie is far more delicious than Mother Mune's realm-famous handmade eel pie. One moment, if you will. I've been instructed by a Melvin's Gate Assessor to hand over this message to whoever delivers an eel pie to Master Jejiruju. Take the purse you received from Master Jejiruju and hand it to the dancer, Eldgith, as she prepares to return home. Clehia. Okay. Alright, let's go deliver it. Deliver the heavy purse to Eldgith. Yes, if you're looking for a dancer, then I would first see your coin. I've 3 children to feed and no time to waste on idle chat. Heavy purse. A leather purse filled to bursting with gil. Okay. Oh my, that is quite a purse. My precious darlings will eat like kings this week. And such a simple job as well. I was told to expect you, you see. In return for the coin, I am to give you these. The leather satchel is from your Makote friend, and the pareo is from me. The last item you are to deliver to Drogo, the warehouse foreman. It's just like we're going on this, like, elaborate quest. Reminds me of the Imperial Agent quest. Or no, the starter quest in Droman Castle and Tor. Where when you arrive in Cass City, you have to, like, run around the city. And obviously it's to introduce you to the main city. But you have to, like, run all over BFE doing these just stupid, silly quests to see if, you know, anybody's thrown off the track of watching you. Okay, I ain't got time for the likes of you, and if I don't get me work squared away soon, the master will have me head on a pike. You got something for me, you say? Well-worn pareo. A colorful cotton undergarment worn for countless summers by the dancer Elgith. Hey now, ain't this Elgith's pareo? That Makote lass said someone would be bringing me a gift that I couldn't refuse and stick me with a pitchfork if she weren't telling the God's own truth. Here, you're supposed to have this bottle of wine. Take it to the Flying Shark and pour a cup for the sailors what are drinking there. That's what she told me to tell you, any road. I'd watch me back if I was you, though, son. Them sailors, the meanest bunch of cutthroats I ever did see. Got some dancers here. Okay. I'm gonna eat another egg here. You want me to taste your wine, eh? Well, now, I ain't one to pass up free grog. Vintage wine. Wine so old no one alive can remember when it was bottled. The cork appears to still be intact. It'd be vinegar by now if the cork wasn't intact. Or just, you know, completely dry. Them land's teats. Now that's a bloody fine drop. If we ship this stuff to the east, we'll be selling bottles by the crate. You're coming with us back to the Morning Star. The captain will want to have a word with you. Yeah, let's go to the Morning Star. There's a good lad. And as for you, Miss Dancer, you stick close to old Hair Scrat. It gets damn cold on them long sea voyages. Well, my goodness. Shh, we'll talk later. Okay, let's go over to board the ship there. Hush now, Gav, make ready, and I'll need that satchel you received from Elgith in a little while. You ready then? We'll be off as soon as the boat's loaded. Alright, level sync is in effect. Ah. Fine grog and a fine woman. The captain will be pleased with this haul. Pray, do not stare so. This was the most expedient method of gaining access to the ship. I will take that satchel from you now. You may have it back after I take the items I need. Your script says, "Hey, what mischief are you two about?" I was merely borrowing some clothes. You wouldn't wish me to catch a chill from this brisk ocean air, would you? Ah, you'll be dancing yourself warm once we get you on the ship, lass. You better slip off that ratty robe before you meet the captain. Of course, of course. I'll be happy to show him the performance that awaits. The bitch Admiral's lapdog. Come back for that lesson, have you? It is I who shall be teaching this day. My lecture will focus on the manipulation of reality through applied strategy. Enough of this damn yapping. By the time I'm done with you, you'll remember who your real master is. Alright. You can stay near her. That healing circle heals them too, apparently. You rabid little cur. Our numbers matter not. It is strategy that will win this battle. Prepare yourself, Doesmaga. With your defeat will I cast off the shackles you closed on my soul. You think so, eh? Think your fancy magics are a match for me blade? You've got another thing coming. So that circle heals you, so if you get a little low on health, you can Duty complete. Doesmaga now faces defeat. He will flee to the starboard rail. Obvious. Next comes his attempt to escape into the sea. You think you're pulling me strings, do ya? Think I'll dance to your tune? Well, I ain't falling for your bloody tricks. It is at this moment he notices the yellow jackets I had you summon in my explicit instructions to Rilzern. He's been captured. You were a fool to return, Doesmaga. I hear you're fond of shackles, so we brought a set especially for you. Oh no. Thus concludes today's lecture. Thank you, Gav. This strategy would not have succeeded without your flawless execution. Which suggests that my tactics yet require more work. One must allow for some small deviation in performance. I believe, however, that I now understand where my calculations went awry. It is not enough to wish to shape reality. One must also have a complete understanding of the reality one wishes to obtain. It is time I sought out our guildmaster. Going, wait. Pray convey to Mistress Thubergeim my fondest wishes and my appreciation for all that she's done for me. The true test of my strategies now begins. Bye-bye. And the other dancer is piloting the ship, or the little boat. All right, let's go back to the Arcanist Guild. Welcome back, Yav. There is much I would ask you, but first, may I have the satchel you received during your assignment? Yes, you can. May I have the leather satchel you received during your assignment? Yes. Odd leather satchel, the veil of mystery surrounding this otherwise ordinary sack is so thick it could suffocate an auroch. The original owner needs her costume back, you see. I'll make sure everything is returned safe and sound. Now, let us speak of Clehia. I am glad to know that she has finally freed herself to pursue her heart's desire, and you are to thank for awakening the Foreseer to her self-imposed fetters. The brilliance of Clehia's strategies served to blind her to her own feelings, and it pained me to see her suffer so. Your example may even encourage Clehia to improve her combat abilities, although such will surely come in time. After all, she intends to study under the Guildmaster's direct instruction. Imagine those two obsessive arcanists and the complexity of the tactics they will develop. It may very well be that your actions in bringing them together will prove the catalyst that sparks a new era of invention in the art of Arcanima. You, too, should look to the improvement of your discipline if you are to keep pace with all that is certain to follow. To that end, I offer you a new technique. One I pray allows you to more readily drive back your foes on the battlefield. Alright, Rune Mastery and Rune 2. And... Take the hose. Very good. Learned Rune 2. Which is what Rune 1 turns into Rune 2 automatic. Ooh, summon Ifrit. And Ruby Summoning Mastery. Acting Guildmaster Thubergeim has news of a task which might interest you. Greetings, Gav. It is well you have come, for we have an intriguing matter to discuss. A request has come to our guild from the Sons of St. Koinak, an organization of some of the finest minds in Eorzea, and they have asked for you by name. It appears that the research the Sons are currently conducting would benefit from the assistance of an Arcanist, specifically one who has had the tempering experience of defeating the Primal Ifrit. Though I must admit to some curiosity as to how these scholars knew the extent of your heroic exploits. Word gets around, you know. I suppose the source of their knowledge is of little relevance. If you would answer this request, then you will find your contact, a researcher by the name of Ymitra at Apkalu Falls in the nation of Gridania. Right. We are going to pick this up too. Murray has knowledge of an intriguing opportunity. Gav, have you any interest in history? If so, I would share with you an opportunity to study the way of the ancients. A curiously refined and well-read Marauder visited the guild the other day in the hopes that he might meet an Arcanist of exceptional skill. He claimed that the assistance of one such individual would be invaluable for the success of his archaeological research. I say claims, because despite his eloquence, the thought of a Marauder with academic ambitions still strikes me as odd. You are, of course, free to formulate your own opinions. His name is Alka Zulka, and he may be found at the Marauders Guild should curiosity overwhelm you. Well, let's go talk to Alka Zulka. Thank you for setting aside your preconceptions. Gav, I am acutely aware how unusual it is for a Marauder to, quote, conduct research, unquote, as it were. However, you shall soon understand that I am not at all like my more muscular brethren. Rather than rush blindly into the enemy's maw, I formulate and execute stratagems to great effect. My archaeological pursuits are but an extension of this practice, for at present I am researching the military tactics of ancient Nim. 'Twould not surprise me if you were unfamiliar with Nim. The civilization flourished some 15-odd centuries ago before the Fifth Astral Era. The Nimians lived during an age of wonders when the magical arts flourished, but magics can be wielded for weal or for woe, and this period of peace eventually gave way to the Great War of the Magi. The nations of that bygone era brought earth-shattering magics to bear against one another, yet Nim, with only a handful of mages to support its army of mariners, repulsed would-be invaders time and time again. Precisely how a military force of this composition could defy its stronger neighbors is a mystery which has long puzzled military historians. By translating extant Nimian tablets that I have recently purchased, I mean to solve the riddle at long last. As my knowledge of Arcanima is cursory at best, I require an experienced Arcanist to assist me with my analysis of any text pertaining to the magical arts. Will you be that Arcanist, Gav? There is, however, a complication. The Nimian tablets and other assorted relics, for which I paid an exceedingly large amount of money, were stolen en route to Limsa Laminza. The information inscribed upon those tablets could be of untold significance. I will not allow thieves to sell it to some rich Uldan collector for a pittance. Pray, accompany me to the Ringcatcher Gully docks and help me reclaim my relics. I've strong reason to believe the perpetrators can be found there. I think we're going to unlock Scholar before we unlock Summoner. Go over to Wineport. As I suspected, they are not more than broken men who have seized the docks and taken to robbing every passing ship. Come, let us put an end to their banditry. Take back what is ours. Okay, I don't know what we're going to do here, but we're going to find out. let's get the thaumaturge. Yes, yes, this is it. A treatise on Nimian military tactics, just as I had hoped. Hello there. Mayhap the tablet can explain this. Mumble mumble, scholars, familiars, fairies? The sunlight of Eos doth soothe and shield. The moonlight of Selene doth silence and strengthen. Give. By the 12, have you any idea what this means? We've rediscovered the long-lost magical arts of Nimian scholars. Okay. Fairies. Honest to God's fairies. Well, now I have seen everything. Anyway, I shall return to the guild and begin translating the tablet. I cannot wait to see what other secrets it contains. Let's go back to the Marauders Guild. Alkazoka, excellent timing, Gav. I've just finished transcribing a section which will doubtless be of interest to you. According to the tablet, the crystal from which the fairies sprang forth is called the Soul of the Scholar, and it contains the wisdom of those long-dead Nimian mages. With it, you can call upon the fairy as you did before and bind her to your will. As I said before, I have little knowledge of Arcanima, so unless you have some objections, I would like to entrust the crystal to you. Oh, and you needn't recompense me. Simply knowing that the lost arcs are being preserved is enough. I shall devote my energies to deciphering the remaining text. Should I discover anything new, I promise that you will be the first to know. All right. Add Eloquium. Oh, it's a skill. Okay. Next Scholar Quest will be available from Alkazoka upon reaching level 35. Which will be a long time. With the Soul of the Scholar equipped, you can summon a fairy to aid you in battle. When called forth, she will assume the form of a healer-type pet. Moreover, by completing the quest A Fairy Tale Come True, you may cast glamours on your fairy familiar, allowing her to take on other appearances. Alright, leveled up. Yeah, we'll keep that one. talk with Ymitra. Go over to New Gridania. Oh, there's a wandering Moogle here. Well, now that we should meet yet again, and just as I was given another vial of Fantasia for my minstrel friend, it's clearly fate's design that you should have it. So do take it with you, Kupo. Alright. We got another Fantasia. Put that in my Chocobo sandbag. There we go. If you already used the Fantasia, the flavor is meant to be a little challenging, but it's a small price to pay to become a brand new you. Bottoms up, Kubo. Alright. You're Gavtia, I assume. Well met. Thank you for coming. My name is, you have obviously surmised, is Ymitra. I'm a member of the Sons of St. Koinak. Ours is a Charlian order that seeks the lost knowledge of the Allagan Empire. And in that regard, we have recently made a singularly important discovery at our dig site in Mordona. We salvaged from the ruins a set of ancient texts describing the existence of a sect of Allagan mages known as Summoners. These were arcane practitioners said to have the ability to siphon the essences of the primals and manifest the stolen energy as a biddable ally known as an Edgy. I don't know if it's Eggy or Edgy. I'll have to look that up. Should we succeed in resurrecting such arts, then we might well hold in our hands the power to bring this age of conflict to an end. There is, however, as there always must be, one monumental obstacle to realizing this reality. In order to manifest these obedient incarnations of the Beastman's savage deities, one must first defeat a primal and capture its etheric essence. Thus, only one who can boast such a daunting achievement under his belt may even begin on the path to becoming a summoner. Do you understand now why I called upon you? If you wish to contribute to my research, then come to me in the west of Byragot Strike in southern Thanalan. There shall we conduct a ritual of summoning the Austerities of Flame. Alright, let's go out to Forgotten Springs. Apparently it's hot in southern Thanalan, the Scully Desert. Greetings to you once more, Cav. I had a feeling this unique opportunity would be nigh impossible for you to ignore. Let us proceed directly to the ritual, shall we? According to the records we recovered, the summoners of old would perform these rites in a land in which the naturally dominant element matched the aspect of the avatar they wished to call forth. Only in such a place might one sufficiently shift one's etheric balance in the desired direction. The element of fire is especially strong here in the Scully Desert. I can think of no land more fitting in which to summon an incarnation of the Lord of the Inferno. Before we begin, I must insist that you accept this gem. It may appear of little worth, but within its faceted depths dwell the memories of long-deceased summoners. Now, you must focus. Visualize the ether flowing through you, a vibrant current of energy transforming into living fire. Hold this image in your mind, and the raging heat of your life force shall spawn an Edgy wreathed in flames. Be aware, however, that this nascent entity will appear before you unbound and hostile. It is your charge to overpower the Avatar and establish yourself as its master. The path of the summoner is naught if not fraught with peril. Alright, I'm gonna go in and do that too. Didn't have my carbuncle summoned. of those nails. We did it. Why can't I use the skill? It's like, oh. Don't have my carbuncle out. Most impressive, Gav. The Fireborn Edgy has submitted to your will. You've mastered the Austerities flame, and that is no small feat. Pray, let us return to Opkalu Falls that we might further discuss your achievement. Get out of here before we aggro those worms. This is truly a momentous occasion. You have rescued the lost art of summoning from the grasping mire of forgotten history, but you must know more of the avatar you have bound. In the ancient tongue of the Allagan Empire, it would be known as Ifrit Egi, where Egi translates approximately to pure or the essence of. In short, you have tamed a willful manifestation of Ifrit's raging fires. As you might expect from an entity born of the Lord of the Inferno, this avatar and his capacity for destruction should serve you well in your battles to come. With such an ally at your command, it is not too soon to take upon yourself the title of Summoner. You have proven yourself more than worthy of the soul crystal you now possess. Yet, be that as it may, the road before you is long and arduous. If you would triumph in this age of conflict, you must needs master more than just the edgy of fire. I suggest you next fix your gaze upon claiming a servant of unyielding stone. Once you have seized victory against the Primal Titan. You once seized victory against the Primal Titan, did you not? Though I admit I am eager to progress directly to the austerities of Earth, we must be careful not to overtax your reserves of strength. Rest well and spend some time to grow accustomed to your newfound abilities. Once you feel prepared to continue with our historic research, you will find me here awaiting your arrival with barely constrained impatience. Okay. Alright, next summoner quest will be available from Ymitra upon reaching level 35. Okay, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to make some bread. Some rolls. Alright, I'll be back in a while. We are back after eating a very fine Easter dinner. We had some fun. Alright, we have some things we have to turn in Idleshire. Reap what you sow. Deliver the Wakian scale to Sanuvanu in Oksundu. And then let me Google that for you. To deliver the leather-bound tome to Midnight Dew in Idleshire. Alright, so let's go to Idleshire first. I've had those in my log for a while. I keep forgetting to do the turn-ins when I'm recording. I don't remember that being there. Alright, let's talk to Midnight Dew. Well, look who's back, and looking none the worse for wear, I might add. Well, what did you find in there? A quick glance at the pages of this hefty volume reveals that what appears to be the titles of manifold books and manuscripts, each accompanied by an arcane string of symbols and numerals. We call that the Dewey Decimal System. Which I don't know if they even use anymore. And there it is, or at least I think it is. To tell you the truth, these old dusty tomes are all the same to me. Still, it certainly looks impressive, which I reckon could count for something. Anyhow, I'd best get the one person who can tell us one way or another. Don't go wandering off. I'll be right back. And you must be the adventurer who procured the tome at our behest. I am Yayake of the Thaumaturges Guild, and on behalf of my eminent colleagues, I thank you. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. Pray, let me see this volume you have retrieved, and that I might confirm that it is the selfsame tome that we have so long sought. Of Fiends and Fairies, 1001 Immolation Incantations, Out of the Void, a catalog of extra-dimensional visitors and preferred methods for their extermination. This is a really violent book here. God, speak good, it's finally ours, the Great Google Library Index. Index? You mean this book you've been searching so hard for is just some oversized list of other books? Just a list of books? Why, this is a comprehensive catalog of each and every tome and epistle housed within the single greatest repository of knowledge this realm has ever known. The Charlians built this bastion of erudition and scholarly inquiry that Eorzea might benefit from wisdom compiled through the ages, only to see its treasures gathered dust, their pages seen by none but the monstrosities that now haunt its halls. We would see the library restored to its former glory, and ascertaining the full breadth and scope of its contents is a modest but most necessary first step. Midnight Dew says if the library were rebuilt, we'd see aspiring scholars flock in from all corners of Eorzea, which would go a long way to building Idleshire into a real town. Whatever me and mine can do to lend a helping hand, you just say the word. That is most heartening indeed. Doubtless the reconstruction process will entail no small amount of menial labor in addition to the more intellectual duties that will be seen to by my colleagues and me. Why, to think of the ever-surpassing heights of sheer destructive power that we might one day achieve, has my hands simply shaking in anticipation. The road ahead will be long, but thanks to you, we take our first steps down it. Pray, take this as a token of my gratitude. 1001 Immolation Incantations. My son will appreciate that one very much. He plays an evocation wizard. Loves fire spells. Now we will go to Oxumbu Sanuvanu. Netherling wears the triumphant look of one who weathers the storm. You return from Neverreap with the Wakian scale, yes? This Sanu knows. The rounded scale of a giant breed of Sanua known as Wakians. The Vanu has found their oval shape suited for the creation of tribal masks. Netherling bears the scale, and it is a mighty one indeed. Fashion a mask from this, and Zundu Chief will command the authority of a furious storm of lightning. But that is not all Netherling accomplishes. No, Netherling chases the cruel Vundu from Neverreap, returns halcyon winds to our sacred land. We Zundu are not like our cruel Vundu brothers, gentle like a spring breeze. We welcome Netherlings with open arms. Sanu's heart is warmed by the gentle sunlight of your friendship. Promise us that you will remain a friend to the Zundu from the many seasons to come. Yep. Well, we got a fair bit done on a shortened session, so we unlocked Summoner and Scholar and Warrior today. And we turned in some quests that I had sitting in my log for quite a while, so wanted to make sure we got that done. And so we are going to leave it here for tonight, cats and kittens. I'm going to get my cat joke out. Why don't kittens play fetch? I'd rather cat catch a nap. Cat. Sure. That one's really bad. They're all bad, but that one's especially bad. So, on that note, cats and kids, you have a great night. Mama Cat Gamer is signing out.